Hello and welcome to Tasting with Mike and Matt. I'm Mike Veach and this is my partner in crime, Matt Kohorst.
Howdy.
And today we are going to taste the new 10-year-old Michter's Rye.
That's right. Always an exciting day.
Right.
When the 10-year-olds pop in.
But we also thought we would try it versus 2022's 10-year-old Rye.
Which will be interesting.
Right, to see how much it's changed.
Yeah. I haven't had the 2022 in a long time, so I'm excited to do a side-by-side.
It's always a great whiskey.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, we've opened and tasted the 2023, and it's really a good whiskey again this year.
That's right.
But I'm like you, I haven't tasted it against the 2022 yet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how much it changed.
Yeah, I love these kind of videos.
Yeah.
You know, compare. I like the blind tasting kind of stuff. I love this stuff.
It's not going to be as radically a difference as it was between the 2022 and the 2021, which I think we did last year.
Yeah.
Because Pan Heilman has been retired for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, once again, Dan McKee and Andrea Wilson making the ultimate choices here.
So they're kind of co-master distillers?
Well, no.
Or how does that work?
No, Dan McKee is the master distiller.
Okay.
Andrea is the master of maturation.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And, they probably have the biggest voice in this. But I guarantee you there's a panel.
Right.
There's going to be more than just them making the decision. But, they're the ones that probably have the ultimate vote.
Okay.
But, Michter's is always, it goes back to their first master distiller, Willie Pratt, who was known as Dr. No. Yeah, because he always said, it's not ready until it's ready. And they'd bring a product to him and he'd say, no, not this year, next year it'll be better.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that, if I'm not mistaken, I think this year, just like last year, it's got a 10-year age statement, but it's actually a little bit older than 10 years, probably 12 or 13 years.
Okay. Because it's not ready till it's ready.
Because it's not ready until it's ready.
Gotcha.
And I think last year's was ended up being like a 13-year-old.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think this year, once again, ended up being like a 13, maybe even a 14-year-old.
Nice. But they just call it the 10-year-old.
They call it 10-year-old because it's
the brand name kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And they don't want to change the age statement every year and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
As long as it's at least 10 years old.
Call it 10-year-old.
Call it 10 years old. And, the next age statement that they have on these is 20-year-old. They
Yeah.
Of course, the 20-year-old's very rare, very expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that Michter's has me on their mailing list, and I get a bottle every year of their 10-year-old. I never get a bottle of 20-year-old because it's such a rare product.
Yeah.
They don't need people to talk about it on the websites and things like that, to sell it all out.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I prefer the 10-year-old over the 20-year-old. To me, the 20-year-old is starting to get a little tannic.
A little tannic, too much time in the barrel.
Right. It's still great whiskey.
Yeah.
But for my taste, I prefer the 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a sweet spot in the barrel, right?
Right.
Like you don't want to go over a certain amount. It's just gonna have too much barrel in it.
Right.
For the most part, I mean, you can get exceptions.
Right. Well, they heat their warehouses.
Yeah.
And heating the warehouses, they say it adds years to it. It doesn't add years because 10 years is 10 years, no matter what you do. But it does add extra cycling, that in and out of the barrel. And to me, at 20 years old, the whiskey has to be extremely taken care of, bottom floor of the warehouse and an unheated warehouse. you can get a good 20-year-old whiskey. Other than that, to me, it gets just way too barrel driven, way too much wood, way too much tannic.
Yeah.
Which I like a little bit of that bitter tannic flavor, but I don't want it dominating the whiskey.
Yeah.
And Michter's, it doesn't quite dominate the flavor of the 20-year-old, like some 20-year-olds.
Right.
But it's still just got that little bit too much tannic for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, one of these days I'll have to take you out to Fort Nelson and let you taste the 20-year-old, and you can make your own decision on that.
Okay. Yeah. Because I do like that.
Yeah, because you like a spicy, tannic bourbon more than I do.
Right.
I prefer a fruitier, sweeter, more caramel, chocolate, fruit-driven bourbon, where you like a more spicy, tannic bourbon.
But I'm starting to, my palate is starting to redefine itself a little bit, and I am kind of starting to lean more towards
the
fruitiness of it, because I think it just ends up being more complex that way. So I think I still like the tannic stuff as well, the more tannic stuff, peanut butter, chocolate, and oak. But I think I'm starting to refine a little bit, and maybe even move forward a little bit, just change my palate a little bit to where that fruity stuff is.
As your palate gets older and it changes, you start appreciating things a little bit better.
Right, yeah. I guess a young palate is excited about all that oak,
Right.
Yeah. Or my young palate was, but I think this is quite a few years in now, and I think things are starting to change a little bit, so.
Right.
But I'm excited to try these two against each other. Let's give it a shot.
2022.
Okay.
It is a single barrel rye. It is the 92.8 proof. And like I said, I think this was probably about a 13-year-old whiskey. Now don't drink it all because we want to do a side-by-side tasting at the end here, I think.
Okay. Oh man. I get like caramel.
Caramel. You get that ryegrass, of course.
Mm-hmm. Like a molasses almost.
Yeah.
Just has like a...
I wouldn't say so much molasses as sorghum molasses.
Sorghum molasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a blackstrap molasses, but more like a sorghum molasses. I'm getting us a little hint of citrus, maybe, like an orange peel.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of baking spices like cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg.
It's got to be nutmeg, yeah. Because something's reminding me of like fall, and I think it's that nutmeg.
Always take a sip. Oh yeah.
Absolutely delicious.
It's like rich caramel, apple.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that allspice, oak.
Yeah, a little bit, a hint of like butterscotch too in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
More
man.
towards the finish though than the initial taste.
Yeah.
Oh, great whiskey.
Great whiskey. Oak and leather in the finish, just really good.
Let's try the cranberry.
They gave me like that nice butteriness, almost like buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
A nice, like a nice citrus note too there.
Yeah, to me it brings out that orange zest.
Yeah, yeah, that orange zest, yeah.
And it has that cinnamony, allspice, spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that allspice kicking. A little bit of apple. And just
particularly on the finish. You know,
yeah.
The finish is like oak, lingering sweet caramel, and apple.
Yeah, and it just sits there, doesn't it? It's sitting nicely. Nice warmth.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah.
Gotta say that immediately. Let's say it immediately.
Let's try pecan.
It brings out the caramel and apple.
Yeah. A little bit of chocolate on the finish.
A little bit of chocolate.
It's like a dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. That for me, that apple's really even kind of hanging out in the finish. Nice oak and that leather's back. It's yeah. Nice and rich.
You say leather, I'm gonna say more of a tobacco.
More tobacco. Yeah. Just a really good
like
bottle.
A really fine Maduro cigar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, matter of fact, kind of reminds me of My Father the Judge.
Yeah. Just rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is one cigar I have had, and it's a really good cigar. Yeah.
Let's try a piece of chocolate.
Caramel, apple.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Lots of caramel. Almost like a caramel chew.
Yeah. Cinnamon. Took away a little bit from the finish.
Yeah. Not as fruity.
Not quite as fruity. More 2 or 3 dimensional with the chocolate.
Yeah.
Still really good. I mean,
yeah.
Still really, really good. But of the of all the different tasting, I think I would say is my least favorite. Neat is my favorite, and then maybe I don't know. It's a toss up between the crayon and pecan for the second.
I kind of like it with the pecan.
It was really good with the pecan, yeah.
So let's set this down. Clean the palate. And try the 2023.
Oh man, you know it's a great day when you get 2 10-year-olds you're tasting on the same video.
And once again, it's a 92.8 proof single barrel.
Mm-hmm. Now, do they put out one of these every single year?
Not every year. You know,
I thought they skipped a couple years in something that they put out.
They skipped it 1 year on the bourbon, I think it was. The 10-year-old bourbon. Or maybe it was the rye.
Maybe it was the rye?
Well, no, it wasn't the rye because we got 2022 rye.
So maybe it was the bourbon?
Yeah. Cleanse my palate again because I'm still getting finished on that flask.
Oh, man. This is good, too. This smells really good, too. I'm almost getting like a little marshmallowness.
Yeah, ryegrass. Yeah, you're like a caramel marshmallow, like a Majeska candy. You know, the caramel wrapped in, or marshmallow wrapped in caramel candy. Getting a little bit of that baking spice, allspice, maybe even cardamom.
Yeah.
Not as much orange zest.
Not as much orange zest. I think you're right with the cardamom as the citrus kind of note. Because it does have it, but, it's a little lighter.
But not as much orange zest as there was in 2022.
All right.
Well, let's take a sip. Well, the orange zest is there.
That's
very fruity.
That's very fruity.
Lots of orange zest. Probably more of a cinnamon spice than an allspice like the first one.
Yeah, almost vanilla-y too. Like
more vanilla-y than caramel.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very good.
Very different, which is awesome. Like it's great to. The differences are pretty monumental with these two.
Yeah.
I guess that second sip there, like maybe a little more citrus coming through. The finish is more oaky and even like a little.
I'm getting oak and orange zest on the finish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little creamier, I would say too, like a vanilla creamy, like almost like a vanilla bean latte kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fruity and like a little lighter on the more vanilla than caramel.
Yeah. It's very good whiskey.
Very good stuff.
Well, let's try it for cranberry. See what the cranberry does for it.
Now I'm getting like, it's not zesty, but I'm getting a lot of orange, just straight up orange on it.
I'm getting orange, but I'm also getting a little bit of raspberry.
Mm-hmm. Still vanilla.
Yeah.
But man, the fruit really pops out.
Yeah.
With that
Not
cran.
as much oak and spice. There's
No.
There's a little bit of that spice.
It kind of taints it a little bit, doesn't
like
it?
a cardamom spice. But most of the spice is on the finish. I'm getting like oak, cardamom.
Yeah.
With lingering orange.
Yeah, I think orange kind of dominates the flavor of the, which is interesting and I really like.
Yeah.
So vanilla orange and then the cardamom on the finish with, a little bit of oak. Yeah, it was an interesting sip there.
Let's cleanse our palate, try for pecan.
Took the orange out.
Took the orange out, but brought out some chocolate.
Chocolate and...
milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Milk chocolate, and then that lemon zestiness kind of shines for me a little bit.
Yeah, it's not orange so much, but it's more of a lemon.
Yeah.
The spice is definitely still cardamom.
Yeah. Nice, rich oak. It really brings out the finish with with the pecan.
Lots of really nice oak.
Yeah.
Not that bitter tannic oak, but more of a
hearty,
like a sawdust oak.
Yeah. That was really, really good with the pecan.
Yeah.
I really like that thickness. It's like real chewy and oily, which I love.
And the finish is still lingering. I mean, it's just
sitting there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Try it with some dark chocolate. Oh no, that brings out caramel.
Mm-hmm. Caramel and oranges.
Yeah. Caramel, oranges, and chocolate. It reminds me of biting into a really nice dark chocolate orange cream candy.
Yeah, those ones you get in like the boxes.
Yeah, we brought my mom back from London the other day. A box from something in Masons. Fortnum and Masons, I think it is Fortnum and Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Of dark, of chocolates and everything. I mean, it was really, really nice, expensive box of candy.
Yeah.
About 100 pounds worth of candy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
that is expensive.
But I had one of their dark chocolate orange. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that might be one of my favorite combos of all time with the chocolate.
Yeah.
Because that was really, really good.
Yeah.
So this one really lends itself really nicely to everything, I think.
Yeah. So let's cleanse our palate.
Side by side.
2022. I'm going to have to cleanse the palate again. It tells you something when the finish is so strong that even with some water.
I gotta take a couple.
Yeah.
Couple sips. All right.
Matter of fact, smelling your hand is a good way to cleanse your nose.
Reset your
nose, reset your palate. Okay, 2022, 2023.
All right, let's do it.
Oh man, the nose, man, the caramel just really, it just opened up. Lots of caramel.
Apple.
That
smells amazing.
Yeah, smell the 2023.
And this one you get more floral. I'm getting now a more floral note.
Yeah. Almost a honeysuckle.
Yeah. This one definitely seems like more. So if I'm going off the nose, this one's giving me a lot of caramel. Like you said, and then
this
like
is
the
more of a honeysuckle orange. Yeah.
So cool, so interesting.
Yeah. So let's take a sip of the 2022.
Okay.
Caramel orange.
Yeah. Even more of a rich caramel.
Yeah.
After it sat a minute. That's something you can nose all day.
Yeah.
That just smells so good. All right, I'm gonna reset my nose.
So now let's taste 2023.
I think that one is a little more complex.
Yeah.
But nothing as prevalent as the caramel. And maybe that I got a lot of that apple and honey.
The 2022 is dominated by the caramel. This one here is very well balanced.
It's lending itself to a bunch of different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, it's tough. It's almost like if you have a day where you want something nice, rich caramel, you go with that 22. If you want maybe something, with a little
more fruit,
complexity,
a little more spice, a little more oak, a little more complexity.
Yeah.
2023.
It seems a little lighter,
Yeah.
This one seems a little richer.
Yeah.
So it's hard to decipher. Right now, if I'm picking right now, it's it's a summer day, nice and warm.
I'd go with 2023.
I go with 2023. Winter,
I'd go with 2022.
Yeah, but it's summer now.
Yeah.
So 2023 wins.
Yeah. It's the ephemeral nature of tasting.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Which, if you like to know more about the ephemeral nature of tasting, read my blog.
Right. Yep.
And if you like this video, follow us on YouTube.
Give us a subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe and.
Yep. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So,
but for both of them, 22, 23, Michter's 10-year-old, both exceptional whiskeys.
Right.
Great ryes. Cheers.
Cheers. To Mr. McGee and Miss Wilson.
Yep. Cheers.